Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite travel secrets, finding cheap places to stay. So no dilly-dallying, let's get straight into it. This is the single best way to find cheap lodging. Use Facebook's graph search. So go through the friends that you already have, narrow it down by country so you can do a search just like this. So here I'll give you an example. And it'll actually show you where, if you have friends who live in the designated cities. This way you don't have to pay for anything at all, right? You can just call in favors from people from high school, right? And I've done this a few times and it's been tremendously free and awesome because you get to get reacquainted with some old friends. This next source is what I use when I'm doing longer term travel, or if it's a city that none of my friends live in, or even a country that none of my friends live in. I use a service called Airbnb. So Airbnb is a service that allows people to rent out spare rooms in their apartments, or their entire apartments if they are rich and have spare apartments. I've used this, 15, 20 times, and it's been tremendous every single time. I've done it in countries all over the world, cities all over the United States, and it's really, really cheap and a great way to meet people. What I've found is the people who are willing to rent their rooms out to other people are the same kind of people that I want to hang out with, and this has proved true time and time again. On top of this, it's also 50% cheaper. So a study done by priceeconomics.com, and sounds official, right? They found that it was 49.5% cheaper to stay in an Airbnb private room as opposed to a hotel room over the 50 major cities in the United States. And my experience abroad is that this has been the same. It's a lot cheaper than staying in a Hilton, and you get to meet cooler people. Plus, if you forget your toothbrush or something, it's somebody's house. So generally speaking, they have an extra one, or they can tell you where to get one. It's worked out really, really well. Highly recommend it. The only problem I have with Airbnb is that once you get to about a month of staying in one place, the economics of it start not to work. It gets too expensive. You might as well just stay in a vacation rental. Which brings me to the next item on the list. VRBO, vacationrentalsbyowner.com. This one has proved to be really, really great when you're looking for, say, 1 to 3 months to stay in one place. I've gone here. You can find vacation rentals all over the planet, and they generally be pretty well priced, and then you can read reviews to make sure that the owner is not going to be some jerk who steals all of your stuff. So this has proven to be a really great source as well. So if none of these options work for you, so let's say you don't have any friends, that's me, then you can't use your Facebook trick. And let's say for some reason the Airbnb, like you don't want to be social or something, and the vacation owners, you're afraid of people, right? You still have other alternatives. You can go to the traditional B&B route, a bed and breakfast. Maybe you're going on some kind of longer term date. I don't know who would do that exactly, but actually just don't go on longer term dates. That seems like a really terrible idea. That's called marriage. So there's a website called Hipmunk that does a really great job of combining Airbnb rentals, traditional hotels, motels, and bed and breakfast all in one search. And what I really like about it is that it shows you hotel groupings and gives you a score based on like how close they are to major attractions. So if you can walk there, you get a higher score as opposed to it just being like a name brand. So I found this to be really great. Hipmunk.com. You may also notice that I mentioned this in the other video, the companion video to this, about finding cheap airfare. So hipmunk.com is a website that I always check out when I'm doing some kind of bucket list adventure. If you want to go a little more traditional, stay at a hotel. I always do this when I go to a country that I feel really uneasy about, China and Russia and Cuba, right? These places I just want to say, hey, lodging needs to be the last thing I worry about. So if you're going to go to a hotel, there's a pretty straightforward process I have for this. The first one is that I go to tripadvisor.com, and what they do is they have ratings of the best hotels in any given city, and I'm yet to find a city on the planet where TripAdvisor doesn't have information for it. So from that I find, hey, these are the ones that I need to care about. It's not always the name brand, sometimes it's something local, which has always turned out to really work out really well for me. And then I go to a website called Priceline, which you've probably heard of, and I bid on it. And I found by bidding, you can get much, much cheaper than if you were to go just through the website, like through Hilton's website, for example, itself. I found that you save like 30% or so. The downside to Priceline is you can't always choose the specific hotel, but I've always found that if you do the star ratings correctly based off of the information you get on TripAdvisor, that I've never had any problem. So I basically just stayed in hotels, felt confident, and been able to save money. Now, every once in a while, I find myself in a brand new city and I did not expect to be there. I mean, I don't have any plans, I don't have any hotel, I don't have an Airbnb, anything set up. If this is the case, I use an ISO app called Hotel Tonight. And what they do is exactly what it sounds like. They'll sell you tickets on discounted hotels for that very night. So it starts at noon local time, whichever city you're in, and then it'll give you deals for that city. And this has worked for me only in major cities, but I'll tell you, it saved my butt more than once. So if you haven't checked that out, Hotels Tonight. So that's the process that I go through every time when I'm trying to find cheap places to stay, and it's worked really well for me. But I bet you it's not the best possible system. I would love to hear your recommendations. What websites are you using? What tools? What tips and tricks? Please, please, please share those in the comments below so that I can share them with everybody else and we can all save a little bit of money.